Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and the upcoming Lauren Frey. Pre-order available now. So, over the past couple of days, over the past 24 hours, I have been exposed to the reality that is the Oculus Quest 2. I was hyped up on it. It was suggested to me by someone close to my person that I should check it out. It has all this cool stuff on it. I do a little bit of research. I see that Resident Evil 4 VR is a thing, and I instantly find that really appealing. You get to be Leon S. Kennedy shooting villager cultist in the face. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that experience? And I was enraptured. Despite having no real desire to do so, I immediately decided that, I am going to look into getting an Oculus Quest 2. I have no idea what the system specs it requires. I have no idea how it works. I've never seriously considered an Oculus, but Resident Evil 4 was the one game that got me interested in the idea. So I do a little bit of research and immediately lose interest. The Oculus still has the same problem it had 10 years ago. It is too expensive and has no real software. The fact that I was so enraptured by a classic game that I already love says all you need to know about it, is that the Oculus is desperately trying to get people to buy into their hardware. They offer nothing truly new or original. All they do is just provide you experiences that you can easily have on consoles. On Nintendo Switch. You can buy Resident Evil 4 right now on Nintendo Switch for $20, I think, $20-$30, something like that, and save $500 that you would have spent to buy an Oculus Rift 2, Oculus Quest 2 for $500, $500 US. I have $500. I wipe my ass with $500, right? But I wouldn't spend it on an Oculus Quest. I'm investing that kind of money. I'm putting it towards stuff I will actually use. The idea of buying spending that much money on a novelty item so I can play Resident Evil 4 VR for 5 minutes and pretend that I'm Leon S. Kennedy, that's not appealing. That's not something I want. That's not something I'm going to spend money on. And this is the reality of the Oculus Quest, or rather all VR headsets. Half-Life Alyx, I think. Half-Life fans went through this in 2020. It doesn't matter how big the franchise is. It doesn't matter how well made the games are, how interesting. There is no reason to invest $500 into a platform that has no support. That's what it comes down to. The Oculus Quest has been on the market for years now, I think. I'm not quite sure when it became commercially available. I want to say 2014 or something like that. It's been a while. And yet somehow, some way, they still have no games. It's not a thing that I think is ever going to take off at this point, because it's simply too expensive and has all these problems. Namely, the fact that there are cheaper, superior alternatives. I don't see Oculus ever taking off. It was a scam to begin with. People don't talk about how they took Kickstarter money and then sold out to Facebook and then just scammed their audience who deliberately just wanted VR. They didn't want Facebook to be involved, right? But it's been a disaster, and I don't see enough people really talking about it. And even now in 2022, when people like Angry Joe are trying to sell you on this thing, oh man, I never use my Oculus VR, but if you want to get the Oculus, this is the one game you want to get. No. Fucking no. No way, fag. I'm not spending that kind of money on on an Oculus Rift, let alone like an inferior version of Resident Evil 4. I'm going to stick with the Wii original. Like, I'm going to stick with the classic Nintendo hardware. I'm going to stick with what works for me, what I enjoy, and I'm going to have a way better time for those of you who are squandering your money on useless trinkets like this.